All right, sparklers, it's time for The Gold Mine, a personal diary where I talk about the real challenges and triumphs we face as entrepreneurs. My goal is for all of us to feel a little less alone on this journey and a little more inspired to keep going. Today, I want to talk about something I think a lot of us misunderstand when it comes to showing up. And here's what it is. Confidence doesn't come before visibility, it comes from it. And I'm saying that as someone who's still learning that lesson, even 9 years into running my business. I used to think that people who showed up on camera or posted really personal content all the time were just naturally confident, or they had something I didn't, or they were outgoing and I'm not, or they don't care what people think. They always know what to say, blah, 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 blah. And sure, there are people like that. Some folks really do thrive being front and center. They love the spotlight. And not only that, they just instinctively know how to use it. But I think they're also the exception, not the rule. And most people, especially small business owners and even many leaders out there, they just have to work at it. They don't naturally come out of the womb knowing how to make videos for TikTok, right? They need to show up. They want to connect, but since it doesn't come naturally, it takes effort, it takes repetition, commitment, and really a lot of mindset work behind the scenes. So when I encourage my clients, or really anyone, to try showing up on camera, the first thing I get questions, but I often get a lot of pushback. And what's always surprising to me about that pushback is it makes me feel like they don't think I would understand how scary it feels, because they'll say things like, yeah, easy for you to say, you're so good at it. And yeah, at this point, it probably does look natural. I mean, I have a lot of improvement to make too, but I feel pretty comfortable on camera. But that's only because I've had probably thousands of hours of practice, and they also don't see how much I used to hate being on camera, especially on video. I would dread it. I would procrastinate it. I would overthink every word, re-record myself 5, 6, 10 times. It took me hours and hours of doing it uncomfortably before I could even begin to feel comfortable. So yeah, it might not seem like that now, but I have been there. And now my perspective on all of this is that, again, confidence isn't a prerequisite for visibility. It's the result of it. And what does that mean? It means every time you show up, whether it's in a photo, in a podcast episode, in a video, and literally any way you're showing up, you're not just marketing. I mean, you are, but the more important thing is you're building a muscle. You're working out. You're gathering these little pieces of proof, of reinforcement, of practice that tell you more subconsciously, I can do this. I didn't pass out. No one spit at me. And maybe I can do it again tomorrow because it wasn't so bad. When I first recorded my very first video podcast, the thing that was hardest for me was watching it back to check it, because I was nitpicking everything, my lighting, my posture, how sometimes when I'm a little bit sleep deprived, my voice might sound more unsteady, or I just stumble on my words more. All the things. I mean, we're all so critical of ourselves, but the muscle that I exercised at that time years ago was I chose to, in all the imperfection and my own critique of it, deciding to post it anyway, and showing up and doing it again the next week, and committing to a cadence and a schedule so that eventually I could stop overanalyzing. I could get faster. I wouldn't have to re-record a million times. I started not to mind how I sounded and have a little more grace with myself, because I'd be like, you know what? I'm just really tired today, and I'm going to do the best I can do. And if it sounds a little off to me, that's just what I got today. And I started to trust that even if I was stumbling a little bit, or I wasn't quote unquote perfect, because what the heck does that even mean? the message I wanted to share was still being shared and would still come through, even if it was in whatever version of output that it was. Less than perfection, chef's kiss perfection, whatever, who cares? And even now, years later, there are moments like this past fall when I planned a pretty intense lifestyle photo shoot where I feel this tightness in my chest before showing up in front of camera because I think, am I sure I want to be this self-promotional? Do I want to be putting myself out there in this way? It feels a little bit self-indulgent. Yeah, those thoughts, those voices come through in my head. I think that's kind of natural. I think most non-narcissist people have those thoughts at some point. But the difference now, knowing that this is an exercise in being the face of my brand, that this is an exercise in marketing, is that I can hear those voices for what they are and know that it's just a part of me that's trying to protect me or keep me comfortable. And by doing the practice of showing up, of being visible and overcoming my own blocks, I have built the muscles to keep moving forward anyway. So for you, if visibility feels really hard and really scary and like a big mountain that you're trying to climb, I can offer you this. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not bad at it. You're not meant for camera or not meant for video. Literally, you're just under practiced. And there's no switch that you need to or even can flip to just become confident or good at it. If you want to build a business in this way and use this as a tactic to create more transparency and add an element of personality to your marketing, the big advice I have, the big reveal is you gotta keep showing up and let the confidence catch up to you as you go. So you're gonna have to let the first few times be messy. They're gonna be awkward. Man, I look back at some old videos that I have done and I cringe a little bit. But you know what? I think that that's okay because in the grand scheme of all of the work I've done to evolve, it just shows that you are committed to growth and you are not afraid to change and challenge yourself. And I kind of want you to have that feeling because it is gratifying. It shouldn't be embarrassing. It's brave and it is assertive in a way. So let them feel kind of cringy. Let the content feel cringy. That's part of it. It means you're building the muscle. And that muscle, it doesn't just help you show up. It also will help you stay grounded when people do start paying attention to you, when your brand starts to grow, when you're asked to be a leader, when you're asked to inspire, when you are quote unquote successful, whatever that means to you. So this visibility that I'm talking about, it's kind of a vague word. But what I can tell you about it, it's not about being the loudest or the most polished. It's about showing up enough times that your presence to your audience that wants you there, it starts to feel like home to them. So wherever you are in this journey, whether you're hiding completely or showing up inconsistently, or you're trying not to feel embarrassed or get in your own head about it, whatever, the only way out here is through. And every time you hit publish, you are getting stronger. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and check out my other videos for even more tips.